Well, good evening, friends. What is going on this Sunday night? I've been out of pocket the last few days. Been over in Amarillo or Channing, near Channing, Texas, working a music camp. And I haven't been at my desk and been able to do this, which I find to be, I miss it. So grateful to get to be here again. Let's see here. Trying to kind of get resituated. Yeah. So most definitely good to be home. I'll be here for a few days and then get to take another trip and to a bluegrass festival up in Michigan. And, should be lots of fun with Riley Gilbreth, my buddy Riley Gilbreth. Okay, so just a random writing. I do random writing. Guy with the guitar. I didn't plop down with the guitar today and do something before because my heart's just not in it, I guess. But let's see if we can do this random writing. Hello, Amber, Sarah, JJ. Love it. Love that y'all are here. That you're checking in. So instead of writing one big word today, I think I'll just kind of... Hey, thank you for that. Thank you for subscribing. That makes my day. It really does. I don't get a lot of subscribers. Let's see. And I appreciate it. Thank you. Let's see, there's an itch. So, I don't know. Hey, yes, I'm with you, JJ. You know, and we just do what our hearts, what we're feeling in our hearts, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Sometimes I like to think I write things that are uplifting, and then sometimes they're a little dark. I'm sorry, but it's just the way I feel. This one's called, it goes like this. It says, the itch. See, there's an itch in the silence. So I just start out like this, you know, just because it's therapeutic, you know. Ooh, that pen's a little dry. Let's see here what we can do. See if I can change that up. Well, there's, okay, I know what I'll do. I'll use this pen here. There's an itch. An itch. In the silence. When we're feeling alone Feeling lonesome. There's an itch in the silence, a flicker. I haven't been able to do any live streams the last few days, being at this camp, and there just wasn't a place to really do it. There's an itch in the silence, a flicker, a whisper. Do something, move somewhere, call someone, scroll, escape. Hello, Alina. Welcome. There's an itch in the silence, a flicker, a whisper. Do something. You know, I guess what we're saying here is do something. You know, it's like you're sitting here and you're, I'm losing my train of thought, Lizzie. Do something, move. I'm trying to move. Really move somewhere. Call someone. Call someone. Scroll. Escape. You know, so it is, you know, it's like sometimes I have trouble just like coming home all alone and just being silent, you know? It's like I've got to turn something on. I got to turn the television on. I don't do that so much, but I do scroll, you know, as it talks about. You know, I find I'll even eat, you know, eating when I'm not really hungry. You know, just doing things, you know, just trying to find an escape from my own who I am. Some, you know, like it's like we're afraid to be alone, and I think it's easy to say when you're lonesome that it's good to be alone. I don't want to say that really, but I think sometimes it is an opportunity to just kind of maybe reevaluate or know yourself more deeply. You know, some of you probably think, well, I know myself deep. I don't need to know myself any deeper. We're all kind of in little different situations, maybe, and then maybe I recently lost my wife. I have a friend, a good friend, who recently broke up or had a breakup with a longtime boyfriend. I know people who are going through and who have been through divorces. And they feel alone. Maybe kind of sad. So anyway, these things that we do, they're all kind of escapes, you know? That itch that we feel. You know, we feel like maybe we're flawed or something, you know. But what if the itch isn't a flaw, but what if the itch isn't a flaw? Isn't a flaw. Sorry, I repeat myself. That's how I operate. Isn't a flaw. What if it's a signal? What if it's a signal? A reminder, a signal, a reminder. By the way, I have these little analogies for these different pens I use. They're not like they're all different shapes or anything, you know. In fact, some of you painters, artists who may be watching you is like, why is he picking up those different pens? I mean, they're just all plain old pens. They're just different thicknesses. And I don't know, maybe I find myself, I just find comfort in that, like picking up a different one, picking up a different and we go through our lives that way sometimes too, you know, like we get tired of something and then we got to pick up the next best thing or something that's gonna we think will fulfill us. And I think I kind of do that when I'm doing this, although I know it's a little different. But sometimes I'll pick a pen up, and I could have gotten the same thing done with the other pen, I suppose, you know. But anyhow, so my job tonight, I guess, is to put you guys to sleep. If I do that, well, it won't hurt my feelings. It's a privilege to be here with you, to get to ramble about things that move me a bit, things that can make me sad, things that can make me happy. Repeating myself, there's an itch in the silence, a flicker, a whisper. Do something, move somewhere, call someone, scroll, escape. That's how you scratch that itch sometimes. But what if the itch isn't a flaw? What if it's a signal? What if it's a signal? A reminder that I'm alive, that I'm going to stretch that M out because we want to fill up that line, or I want to fill it up because I'm alive. Because I'm alive. So this loneliness that I tend to be feeling or can feel, it kind of ebbs and flows throughout my day. Maybe it's a reminder that I'm alive. A longing. A longing. Not just for distraction. I have to think about that one. I'm not sure. Let's see. A longing, not just for distraction. Okay, yeah, let's see. Hello, number one, Royce. I am glad to see you here. Thank you for stopping. A reminder that I'm alive, a longing not for distraction, but for connection. Yes. So when I am thumbing through the internet or doing the things that I'm doing, running here and there, looking at social media. Not that there's anything wrong with them. I don't mean to. I'm not wanting to rule that out, but I just, consider that, you're trying to scratch that itch of feeling sad, lonely, and a lot of people will say, well, they like to do it because it distracts them. I like to take a trip because it distracts me sometimes. I had recently a friend and I were talking on the phone a lot, and that was a good distraction um, from my current situation. So, but anyway, we're longing not for distraction necessarily, but what we're looking for is a connection. We're looking to connect. And I think sometimes we're afraid to sit alone. We're afraid of the silence. We're afraid of being alone because we don't feel like we're connected. Oh, but you are. Alive, a longing, not for distraction, but for connection. And I didn't put a but. So let's see here. But, see, where do I want to put my but? That sounded, where do I want to put my but? Oh, well, you know, I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to do it this way because we can't. There's nobody telling me that this doesn't prove this and this formula isn't right. We put our butt where we want it, a longing not just for distraction, but for connection. Actually, today was a good day. I was coming through the great city, the big city of Amarillo. And you ever think about ways that you get blessed? I got pulled over. I did. Oh my goodness. And the officer walked over to the side of my car and I rolled the window down. And I was apparently going 10 miles over. I guess I was going 70 and it was in a 60. But I mean, it was just like, you know, and he said, "Did you know this?" And I said, "You know, I wasn't paying attention. I just messed up. I was not paying attention. So sorry." You know, so anyway, I had to find my insurance. And he went back. I mean, he was gone for a long time. I think sometimes they like to kind of just mess with you, maybe. I don't know. I don't think so. He was a nice officer, but anyway, but I think sometimes they like to make you wonder, you know, what's gonna happen. So anyway, he came back and he said, "Mr. Sawyer, slow down. I'm just gonna give you a warning. Remember, when you come back through here, it's 60 miles an hour." Well, you know, I tried to just live in that moment right there and go, you know, thank you, Lord. Thank you for this. Thank you that I didn't get that ticket. I know, and I've gotten tickets. Sometimes we get the ticket and sometimes we don't, right? But today I didn't get the ticket. And I count that as a blessing. So recognizing that stuff, and I'm speaking to myself as well as you, because I sure don't always recognize the goodness. So I digress. A longing, not just for distraction, but for connection. And what if? And what? And what if? Just for today. What if? I'm going to use that. Oh, I'm going to try that dried out pen again. And what if just for? Ooh, yeah, it is getting dry, but just for today. I don't have to scratch it. Yeah, and what if just for today, I don't have to scratch that itch? I don't have to scratch it. Bound and determined to use this whole page. Truly. Scratch it. What if just for today I don't have to scratch it? What if I can notice it? What if I can? Oops. I can notice it. This is a squeaky chair, sorry. I can notice it. Actually, let's see. What if I can notice it? What if I can scratch it? What if I can notice it? I didn't want to put a, yeah, okay, let's see. Didn't really want to do it that way. What if I can notice it? What if I can, sorry guys, I keep repeating myself. What if I can notice it? What if I can think it? What if I can think it? That itch. What if I can think it? But still stay seated in the stillness. Still stay. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I appreciate it when you subscribe. It always, I appreciate that. That helps me so much. It really does. And JJ, I thank you for doing that. And um, I'm kind of getting a little cluttered here at the bottom because but still stay seated. So I'm going to cut it off almost right here. Let's see. But still stay seated. See, I can't talk. But still stay seated in, and I like that. You can say, I'm on to that guy. He just likes to write those letters all the way across the page. I do. In the, oops, let me get that right. In the stillness. few dots. I will add a few dots here. Oh, my camera is causing my camera's getting distracted. Totally just, this is sleepy time stuff, right? Sleepy time. I know. That's the way it goes. I appreciate you hanging out. Today I was experiencing I got up to like 102 somewhere right there. I think I was like in Memphis, Texas or something. And, we've had some pretty mild weather here up until now. I don't know. I mean, unseasonably cool. Had the Peach Festival, I guess, last week here in Parker County, here in Weatherford, and it was, let's see. I have to figure out another way of doing the dots. Very cool for the Peach Festival. I mean, it is always a oven. Everybody knows it, at the Peach Festival. Well, we got a new week coming on. And, I've got this thing it's on my chat, or, where you guys are making comments. And, I am just not real up on some of this YouTube. Well, a lot of the YouTube stuff. But several of you, it says JJ #1, like you're a #1 fan, or I guess maybe you're a #1 contributor. Sarah, says you're #2, and then #1 Royce. It's got a little crown by your name, and it says, you may see this, but it says #3. So, hey, thank y'all. I need to get educated on how some of this stuff works, where I can call you guys out and say, hey, thank you. I know my friend Miss Mickey is always she's always on here. Okay, let's see here. Oh yeah, I gotta find my little egg here. Hold on. Egg, so you gotta have your egg. I'm adding a little blue pastel on there. The other pastel I stuck, it's up under there. Actually, I'm gonna take that out. It's a little distracting for the video. Got to spend most of the week with my daughter, which was so nice. I am a blessed dad to have her in my life. And we worked at, got to do the music camp together up there in Channing. And lots of good kiddos. It was a lot of fun. But Leah had to go back to Colorado, and I headed sort of southeast over here to Parker County, Texas. So all right, so I've rambled on and on about it. I'll say it one more time. So there's an itch in the silence, a flicker, a whisper. You know, you do something, you move somewhere, you call someone, you scroll. You do something to escape your loneliness, right? That's what this is talking about. But what if, so it's like an itch, but what if the itch isn't a flaw? What if it's a signal? What if it's a reminder that I'm alive? I am alive. All this lonely feeling tells me that I am alive. It's a longing, not for a distraction, but for a connection. And what if just for today, I don't have to scratch it? I don't have to scratch it with, things, with food or whatever it is, or I don't have to scratch it. Just for today. What if I can notice it and just kind of thank it? Thank it, but still stay seated in my stillness. So I think it's just sort of a long way of talking about being content. And, again, I said this earlier, we're all longing for connection. We want connection. We want to be connected to people, to... It's different. It can be different for different people. I realize that, but in general, we're longing for that. And I would argue that as you sit by yourself, if you can sit in the quiet, if you can be alone, that you're going to become a better person, that you're going to become more connected on the other side. We're so quick to want to scratch it, though. We want to do something where we don't feel sad. Alone. Alone doesn't mean you're sad, though. I know there's a lot of people who could give us great insight on this. So don't get me wrong. It's just my lack of vocabulary, my lack of insight. Okay, I could go on and on for the next 3 hours about this, but I won't. I'm grateful for all of you. Elvis, thank you for joining in. Number one, Roy, Selena, Sarah, JJ. Thank you, Amber. Thank every one of you. Y'all have a good night, and I'll look forward to being back around tomorrow night, hopefully. God bless you all, and we'll see you then on the other side.